Why do you love the Catskills?
Wow, look at this. I mean, how can one not love this, right? And so it's beautiful. It's the people who live here and work here who are interested in raising healthy food are like-minded with me. I really love them. I get along. We all seem to have a common purpose. I have to admit that the fact that it's just 3 hours from New York City is very meaningful to me because my sons live in New York City and I like to be able to see them often, and I like them to have access to a beautiful environment and nature and healthy food.
This is my map of the state of New York. The black marker is the state barrier. The brown marker is the interstates. The red dots are sanctuaries, and the green dots are cities. Some of the sanctuaries are the the Buffalo Audubon Society, the NWR, the Medan Ponds Park, the Finger Lakes Forest, the Montezuma National Wildlife Reserve, the Beaver Lake Center, the Wellesley Island State Park, Green Lake State Park, Robert Moses State Park, Paul Smith's State Park, Point Au Rocher State Park, Temprom Museum, Five Rivers, Bosca Kill Area, Stony Kill Farm, Iona Island Reserve, Pelham Bay Park, Prospect Park, Jamaica Bay Reserve, Fire Island, and Morton National Wildlife Reserve. And then the cities are Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, and New York City. That is all.
Who's that, Gunner?
A grasshopper.
What's his name?
Grassy.
Grassy?
Yes. How are the Catskill Mountains formed?
Do you want the 55-minute explanation or the 55-hour explanation?
55 minutes.
55 minutes. Do we have 55 minutes?
Oh, 55 minutes?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can do it in much less.
How about 55 seconds?
Oh my gosh. Only a geologist could do that, and even that with a problem. How did they form?
Yes.
All right, we'll start from the beginning. We have a mountain range in what is now New England.
Yeah.
This would be about 400 million years ago. And it's eroding. And all the streams, I wouldn't say all, but the streams that are flowing west are flowing into a sea, an ocean, which no longer exists. And all the materials coming off those mountains are being deposited into an ocean. Sands and gravels and silts and clays and boulders and cobbles and pebbles, and they would eventually form a huge delta into that sea or ocean, and then over time the piles of sediments would pile up, and eventually the sea would drain out and these sediments would become above sea level and eventually under compaction under their own weight, rise up and form a huge mass of bedrock, sandstones, shales, siltstones, sandstones, conglomerates, and then erode very slowly at first, and only in the last few minutes, so to speak, glaciated probably 4 times. But most of what you see is not glaciation. Glaciation is most obvious in the valleys, not on the mountaintops. So if you were to climb a mountain around here, like Utziantha, and you were here before the last ice age, you would pretty much see the same thing.
Cool.
The mountains would be where the mountains are, and the major valleys would be where the major valleys are. Now, the difference might be that the valleys would be filled up with all this glacial debris, and you might have ponds and lakes and fens and swamps and bogs, many of which are gone. But most people, I wouldn't say most, a lot of people think that the Catskills were formed by the glaciers. It's not true. It's just like it's like putting icing on a dessert. It's just the last step, and most of it was here long before. So if you were to climb a mountain in the Catskills, and you knew the geology now, the geography, you would instantly get up on top of that mountain and know exactly where you are, know what the other mountains were. They wouldn't change much. In fact, on the tops, they'd only be about a foot or 2 lower than they had been. It's in the valleys you'd have the big changes. Because you can have anywhere from several tens to several hundred feet of glacial debris filling up the valley bottoms, but the ice was so shallow over the ridges and summits that it just didn't do much. It eroded a foot or 2 and then deposited back a foot or 2.
Why do you like the Catskills?
I like the Catskills because of their physical beauty, their space, and most of all, the people who also enjoy it make a good, solid community.
Did you grow up here?
I grew up on Long Island. I would come up to the Catskills since the early 1950s. Yes, that's how old I am. Dad and Mom would take their vacation. We'd stay in Denver, New York, which is was a one-store town, also in the town of Middletown, near where I live now. And we'd stay at the Crystal Spring Farm, which was a boarding house, meaning that they took boarders. Now we call them vacationers. And we would stay up there for 2 weeks. We would eat family meals together, meaning family-style meals together, meaning all the guests, of which there were maybe 25 plus or minus, would have breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. And the way that would happen is somebody would ring the dinner bell, we'd all come in, eat, there'd be big bowls of scrambled eggs, potatoes, bacon, vegetables, whatever we were serving, we'd pass them around, eat together, and then we, the young kids, would go to the swimming hole, which was a dammed up stream so that it was deep enough to swim and to jump into, catch frogs, go exploring, go to the Catskill Mountain Game Farm, which doesn't exist any longer, or the Delaware County Fair, or the big carnival behind what was then the A&P in Margaretville. Mom and Dad got to relax because they didn't have to cook, they didn't have to serve, they didn't have to clean up, they didn't have to do any laundry, so everybody had a good time.
Do you like the trees?
Yeah, I love the trees. I like hugging the trees.
Tree hugger. Tree hugger.
Yep. I love them. It's cool.
Which kind of tree did you adopt?
I dropped in a sugar maple. I'm proud of myself.
Did you catch any fish?
Yeah, I did. I caught like a lot, like altogether this whole entire month, 12 fish. Yeah.
Cool. What do you like about the Catskills?
Oh, there are so many things I love about the Catskills. I love the beauty, and I love to walk up Mount Ansayanta. I like to ride my bike on the bike trail. I like to kayak in the beautiful lakes and streams, rivers. I enjoy a sense of community here. And I enjoy the arts organizations and historical places and a sense of community. See, it's swollen, it's red because I've been scratching it, and you can see where something bit me, right? Shall I apply it now?
Yes. Yes.
All right, and you see we opened the stem. Can you see that? All right, here we go. How long do you think it'll take for it to work?
A few minutes. To me, at least.
What do you say, David?
Jack did it yesterday, so I'd trust his judgment.
All right.
It goes away in like a minute.
You know, I think you're right. Oh my, this is amazing.
And now your itch is gone.
You could make a series of advertisements.
All right. What do you like about the MKNHP camp?
So many things to like. I like playing in the woods. I like learning about science, and I like playing up at the stage.
Interesting. I like how it's based off of science and nature and how it's based outside. And I like all the activities that we do and how there are a lot of kids that I know, but not too many kids at the camp. And I like how you can interact with nature.
Okay, what do you not like about the MKNHP camp?
Well, the porta potty stinks.
That's true.
And the and the RV is an eyesore.
True.
But that's really it.
Okay, you're done.
How do the forests help keep water clean?
Vegetation and good soil, and starting at the top, the water's at the top, it runs down. Good environment is kind of like a filtration system for water coming down. And clean water comes from underneath up through the rocks and seeps out the top, and it's clean. Rocks, charcoal, sand, good dirt, it all equals a good filter.
How did you get so wet?
I was stomping in the river and stream, whatever. But like, I was stomping in water, and I was kicking water behind my back and trying to get it on me. I really love getting wet. Oh, look, there's my tree.
Oh, what is your tree's name?
Hermione Granger.
What kind of tree is it?
An apple tree.
Oh, are the apples good?
Not yet.
Oh.
How do you make the fire?
By rubbing 2 sticks together.
For 6 hours?
Yes, but it's worth it.
What do you think about flying creatures?
They're pretty cool.
Bees?
No, I don't like those.
They're terrible.
Actually, they are pretty nice.
And make the pollen.
They take pollen from one flower to another flower, and one flower to another flower.
And then make the honey.
Make us happy with honey.
Happy honey.
Happy with some honey. Why do you have goats? I mean, why do you like to have the goats?
I like the goats because they're sort of like a dog, like you've already was talking about.
Yeah. Like we said Iona looks like a cat. She acts like a dog, but she's really a goat.
Yeah, and goats are in between cats and dogs in their personalities. They're friendly, but they're also standoffish, like a cat. So.
Well, my cat's very friendly. Like she loves everybody.
Well, then when you have friendly cats, then they're really friendly, and then that's the way with goats. You have really, really friendly goats, like Iona is very friendly.
Iona is very friendly.
Yes.
That's our favorite. That's
know.
me, Anna, and Connor's favorite.
My favorite is that black one right over there.
Which one? I can't see. Oh, that's Athena.
Oh, nice name.
Yeah.
Like Athena, the goddess of wisdom and battle strategy.
That's exactly the one.
It's really fun. We get to do a lot of things. We got to look at aquatic animals, and we made swords or wands. Cool. What is a habitat? Habitat is where an animal lives. So like aquatic animals live in the water, and other animals live in fields. Cool. What habitats have you seen lately? Leaf packs, how do you call it, and bird nest. Yeah. I forgot what type of bird it was. Was it a red-winged blackbird? Yes. What's your favorite thing about the Catskills?
Well, I think access to public land, probably, in addition to all the beautiful things we know about it, like streams and mountains. It's an amazing privilege to be able to step in the woods, not have to pay a fee, not step on private property, and go out for long distances and hike over mountains and fish in streams and cross-country ski. It's a park. We live in a park.
What's your favorite recreational activity?
Oh boy, that's hard to choose from. Right now, I'd say bicycling.
packs to like give a home to these little, what is it called? Like aquatic animals. That'd be a habitat.
Good.
Cool.
Like someone bit into it.
How much?
Like almost like quarter. Almost halfway actually.
No, more like 3/8.
Yeah, 3/8 about. He's right.
What's your favorite bird?
The golden-winged warbler.
Cerulean warbler.
There's a red warbler. I forget his name. What was his name? I sent you a picture of him. Well, there's a warbler and he's all red. I'll have to get back to you later on his name.
Oh,
I think cardinal for me.
cool. Mine's the bald eagle.
Same.
That's a good one.
Same.
White
Mine
tail.
is the bald eagle too.
I almost said him.
White tail eagle.
There are no wrong answers.
Mine is the bald eagle.
Wow,
Geology rocks.